All right, folks, good morning. Let's get started. So, let's start off with the economic data for today. There are no reports scheduled for today, for Friday, the 23rd. So, that's off the table. All of the reports are for other countries that I see here on Forex Factory. Now, looking at the markets, here's what we have. As far as yesterday, the Nasdaq started off very neutral, but then it turned bullish, and you can clearly see that the market closed substantially higher. I believe it was up over 2%, if I remember correctly. And as of right now, looks like the market will open just a slight bit higher than where it was yesterday, but still within the previous session's range. Looking at stocks yesterday, at the beginning of the day, it was pretty rough, but thereafter, things tended to pick up. So here's what we have. For yesterday, we had NVIDIA. NVIDIA was able to reach target number one of 768.91. Then it got to target about halfway to target number two. And then later on in the day, it actually got much closer to target number two, but never actually reached it until after hours. It did trade higher than its target number two. Airbnb was able to reach target number two of 155.53. Was a rough move. The first part to get to target number one of 153.28 was fine. It was really choppy after that, but then eventually, sometime around 1 o'clock Eastern, it began to move up with the rest of the market and reached that secondary target. Coinbase was only able to get to target number one of 170.30, and then it started trading sideways after that. AMD, however, was very bullish, able to reach target number one of 180.19. Target number two of 180.19, and then reach a high after that of 183.83. Mara was bullish, but only able to reach target number one to the upside of 24.52, and we were looking for it to move beyond that point, but it never really got too far. Went about 40% of the way past target number one, topped out at 25.11. Robinhood, symbol HOOD, was not able to advance beyond its target number one of 14.02. We were looking for it to go beyond that. That was where the first entry for us would have occurred, but it never happened. And next up, we have CLSK. That was able to reach its target number two of 17.54 a share to the upside, and then topped out at 17.68. Meta, META, was able to reach target number one to the upside of 486.31. Then after that, it went just over halfway to target number two, topping out at 489.99. UAL, once again, was bullish. It was able to reach our target number two to the upside of 45.87, and then it topped out 1 penny above that at 45.88. And Roku was bearish. It did get beyond its target number one to the downside of 63.51, but very, very, very choppy. Bottomed out at 62.26. So this one was really not exploitable at all, but it did get more than 2/3 of the way, more than 3/4 of the way to its target number two, but very rough. All right, now looking at the pre-market, let's see what stocks are active that we might be able to exploit. First up, we have AXTI, which is currently up 36.8%. on 7.3 million shares roughly. It is over $1 per share, so it meets all of our criteria. So we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market radar for stocks. All right, next up we have BDRX. That's currently up 9.74% on 2.2 million shares. It is at least $1 per share, so that will be added to the pre-market radar for stocks as well. BDRX is the symbol. Next up we have CMND, which is presently not up enough or down enough, so it would have to have at least a 6% price change, which it currently does not. So this is not going to be added to our pre-market radar. Next up, KTOS. Let's look at that. Okay, that's not down enough either. It's only down 4.53%. All the rest of the criteria match. It's over 1 million shares. It has the right price range, but it would have to go down significantly lower than where it is now. So that will not be added since it doesn't look like it's likely to get there anyway. Next up is LUNR, which is presently up about 31% on 12.6 million shares. It is at least $1 per share, so we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market radar as well, symbol LUNR. Right, next up, we have MNPR, which is currently up 22% on 3.4 million shares. It is trading above $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market radar as well. All right, next up we have Rivian, which is presently down about 3.7%. So not down enough to qualify. It may be later, but as of right now, it's not close to hitting that qualification. But all of the other qualifications, it does match. Next up is SUGP, which is currently up well, over 100%, depending on when we look, on 7.2 million shares, above $1 per share. So SUGP will be added to our pre-market list. And then we have UAVS, excuse me, which is presently, actually, never mind. That must be a New York, that must be an NYSE stock. So never mind. So that's all I see. AAOI, let's take a look at that. That's currently down 29.5% on 1.1 million shares. It is at least $1 per share. So that definitely qualifies. So we will add AAOI to our pre-market radar. Next up, we'll take a look at Plug, since we already have MNPR. Plug is currently up 6.43%, 1.2 million shares. Yep. It's at least $1 per share, so that will be added to the pre-market radar, PLUG. All right, folks, so that's all stocks that I see and that you guys have mentioned. But if you see any other stocks that meet our 4 criteria, let me know in the chat. Any other stocks other than the ones we've already found, which I'll post in the chat right now. So once again, we're looking for stocks that have at least a 6% price change that is either positive or negative, at least 1 million shares traded pre-market. They must be at least $1 per share. Of course, it must be NASDAQ listed. So if you see any other stocks besides the ones mentioned, okay, ENVB is mentioned. Okay, let's see if that qualifies. Yep. Okay, so it's right on the cusp, but it does qualify. 18.8% positive, 6.7 million shares. It's currently at $1 per share. So as long as it doesn't drop below $1, it's still okay. So that one just right at the cusp. So we'll add that to the radar, but if it drops below $1, then it will have to be removed. All right. All right. Any other stocks, folks, that meet our 4 criteria? Let me know in the chat. Then we'll take a look. Okay, I'll give it another 10 seconds here and then we'll wrap up. Okay. Well, okay. It'd be better, I guess, to email me or something because I don't recognize, unless you have the same name that you have in the room, I wouldn't recognize who you are. All right. But either way, appreciate the update. All right, folks, so we'll wrap up for today. Please be sure to like this video. I see we have 9 likes, but more than 9 people are watching. So make sure to hit the like button. That way, you'll help us with the YouTube algorithm. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you get notifications for the videos. Looks like ENVB just dropped below $1. So as of right now, it's no longer valid. So I'll have to remove that. So I'll put that on the possibilities list, but as of right now, it's under the threshold. All right. So for anyone who's watching this video, if you're watching it on a replay and you're not familiar with our company, check out fundertrading.com, our website. You'll see a link in the description of this video. Other than that, for everyone else, I'll see you in the coaching room in about 27 minutes, and I'll see everyone for the Premarket Pulse on Monday. Have a great weekend, folks. Take care.